guys, but this is some of this tech I'm using is new to me, but I enjoy doing it. So why not have some fun and share with you guys? So what happened to me is basically I got a message from basically a friend of ours, and he's like, hey, I'm trying to get 30 new clients. And so 30 new clients a year is what I'm kind of guessing. So we went through back and forth some information, and I was like, okay, let me put together some information and show you. So I figured, why not just talk about it and kind of share? So before I do that, let's get into studio mode and okay, see, this is live and I'm just testing this out. So guys, bear with me. All right, so let me jump into my thought here. And he needs 30. Why aren't I right? I'm erasing, that's why. He wants 30 clients deals a year. And so my first thought is, without having an in-depth conversation, is understanding his metrics. And so one of the first things I want to do is to, one, we're going to create a strategy. Okay. And with this strategy, we're going to figure out what he actually needs. And what I notice a lot of times, people get overwhelmed in what play to do. And so in order to do that, we're going to break it down so it's not about what you think, what you believe, what you see other people do. You can just base it on pure numbers and then look at those numbers so you can make a decision on what you want to do. So in his case, he wants 30 deals. So this is a strategy part of it. He wants 30 deals. And so I'm going to estimate his close ratio is about 10%. All right, so if his close ratio is 10%, then that would mean we want at least, because he goes, so 30 deals will give you about 2.5 clients a month. Okay, so that's pretty decent. So let's say hypothetically that's a 5K return. I'm not sure what his actual return is, but I'm thinking it's a higher bulk item, which probably sells for, maybe a couple $100,000, depending on what area it is. It could be more or less, but let's just go with that 2.5 clients gives him what he needs a month. So that 2.5 clients, how do we get those 2.5 clients? Well, if he has a 10% close ratio, then all we're going to need is 25 leads a month. Now, all of a sudden going from, hey, I need 30 new clients a year, which some people might say is overwhelming, we'll go, can you get 25 leads a month? And if you've seen some other stuff I've done, like that is doable with a right lead magnet. So all of a sudden you go, oh my gosh, I got this big overwhelming problem, to you simplify it to, okay, hey, if I could just get 25 leads, that means basically you want to have 25 conversations to actually find out if who might be interested. And remember, somebody says no, right? No, it's not no like forever. It's no right now. So how do we get that to change? And what do we go from here? Because this is where I think a lot of people get stuck. And I'll kind of jump into a little bit of a story if I can. I used to play racquetball, and after high school, between like college and sometimes during high school, I used to play a lot of racquetball. And I played in the Midwest, so we would play indoors a lot. So when it was snowy outside, you can't play tennis and other things like that. So racquetball is a great sport. So what we would do, we'd work out and then we'd play racquetball for about 3 hours. So when I'm fresh out of high school, I got lots of energy. I used to play and run all over the place. So much energy. I was going nuts. And I would be the guy that would be like, boom, bing, 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 bing. So much to the point, I was actually probably a little bit dangerous to the other players, because when you play racquetball or any kind of racket sports, you're pretty open to playing with other players as long as they're in control of themselves. And I remember sometimes playing with the older guys who might be even 60 something years old, 70, and you could play some of the older guys and they wouldn't run because they didn't have the joint mobility anymore, but they were good. And one of the things they would do is they would let me run all over the place. They would take center court, take position, and just kind of get their shot. And they just pinch it, what we would call pinch it, in the corner. And so the goal for racquetball is to get the ball to bounce twice. And they would pinch it and it would just roll flat. And so I was like, wow, these guys are really good because they use strategy. And so what I notice a lot of times is now as I play, I have to use more strategy than I was when I was 18, because I'm not running around that much. I need some rest and things like that. So I'm using more strategy. And I think a lot of times we get frustrated because we're so like got to do all these different things. And it was like, okay, what's the right strategy to use? So here's a simple one that you can implement. And one of the things I want to do is show you, now that we know that we need 25 leads a month, what's the next thing that we can do? And so here, let me minimize this. So I pulled up some ads, and let me stop studio mode. So I pulled up some ads, and these ads are different ads that I've seen just for what his genre. So basically, there you go. Here's a bunch of ads. And so I'm basically reversing engineering what people have done, not to copy it, but just to get an idea. If I can get an idea engaged and go, okay, here's this person, say this is in the real estate niche. Here they are, and they're advertising this home. Then I can get an idea, oh, here's their landing page. Oh, here's their landing page. Oh, here's this ad. Oh, here's what this person did. And I can go on and on and on and get all these different ideas without having to invent. It lowers the friction in your brain to go, I need to create a system. And so one of the things we're going to do is go, hey, what system do you like best? Now that's what I would do for him. Go, okay, what system do you like best? And so now that we have, let me erase this little guy. Oh, I'm a little large here. Excuse me, let me move this over. See, one of the joys of being live. Let me move the screen a little bit, guys. Give me a second. All right. All right, so now that we know that, hey, we're going to model other people, what they're doing, so that we're not getting overwhelmed and getting overcomplicated and just making it simple. So we're going to take this strategy, and now we're going to go look at all the ads that we saw. We're going to break it down and say, hey, what resonated with me? And we're going to talk about who we're trying to resonate with. So one, we're going to come up with a strategy. And our strategy is for ads. I like ads because you can control them. And no matter what you say, social media, all that stuff, we're going to do ads, and we can run who we're going to talk to. Okay? Because if I see an ad and it's not congruent with my avatar, meaning my avatar is, let's just say my avatar is a 20-year-old guy, then if my ad is speaking to a 40-year-old woman, then these ads aren't going to be congruent. So I can't model somebody unless it's really talking to my person, the person that I'm trying to reach. So this is one of the key steps. When we are modeling, we have to model what's in the best interest for the people we're trying to reach. And then step 3 is just simply implement. You're like, duh. Sounds simple, right? But we get stuck. So break it down very simple. And the implementation part is going to be one, let's just do a point A. We're going to decide who that is. So we're going to decide in that who, we're going to decide our advertising mechanism. So our advertising mechanism, and put mech. I personally like video. I love video. I think video is a very effective tool to talk to people. That's just me personally. But there are some people who suck on camera. And if you suck, it's because you don't practice enough. And I'm not saying it's because you suck as a person. I'm saying because you need to practice more. Nothing wrong with that. And if you want, I'm actually interested in putting together a video lead strategy for business owners. So if you're interested in that, send me a message. I'll be putting that together so I can put you on the wait list. All right, carrying on. So if you don't like video, then you saw what I pulled up, and those were just basically image ads. So pictures. So pictures work great too. Now, the platform we want to use, well then, okay, right now that was just a lot of Facebook. Okay, where else can we look for these different ads? Everywhere. From banners to videos to, I forgot the other, like there's another source where it looks like an ad, but it's not ad. I forgot the name of that. You can do that. There's so many different traffic methods. You can buy traffic off a website where you know people go. You have the choice. You have the control. But if you don't know where to start, then you're going to look at what works. All right, so B, we got the ad. Then we got to decide, are we going to have a landing page? or not. Now, if you don't have the skill for a landing page, my suggestion is you hire somebody to do that. And so I had a friend ask me, she's like, hey, what do you do? Because I love technology. I love helping people. And I'm like, I love helping people get leads. And landing pages are great because you can pixelate it, which means basically you put a little bit of code and it lets you know who's been to your site so you can follow up with them later if they didn't take the desired action that you want them to take. Meaning, if that person didn't opt in, leave their phone number, leave their email, whatever it is you were trying to offer them. Remember, when we offer somebody something, we want them to raise their hand saying, yes, I'm interested. And so I don't know if it was Russell Brunson or Igor, some of the people I listen to are big lead magnet guys. If you were to stand up and say, hey, I have this inside of a loud, crowded space before COVID and say, hey, I have this, what would draw somebody's attention? What would get somebody to raise their hand saying, I'm interested? And so this is something we want to consider, is having this landing page which tells them exactly what that is you're going to give it to them. So in step C, if you have a landing page, you're going to tell them on that landing page to give it to them. Or B is you could use something like a Facebook lead ads, which is more beneficial to something like Facebook because they want people to stay on the platform. They have more control. They leave their information. You get it, and you can follow up with them later. And step C, you deliver. So 3 simple steps for you to create an ad, to get more clients, more leads, break it down simple, reverse engineer what is working. Stop trying to create the new thing. And I'm not saying don't be creative, because creative, you have a creative element in you if you have this idea, but model what's working. And a lot of times people, when they say model, they think it means copy, and it doesn't, because you can see when somebody has what we say is a hook in an ad. And a hook could be something very simple. And it might be somebody who's working out, showing some sort of action. Could be somebody who's holding a giant teddy bear, like things that get people's attention. So if you have an idea and your content is good, then you can put step 3, implement it. If you need help like, hey, I'm stuck here, then there's so much information on YouTube. You can also DM me. I'd be happy to, hey, share some of it like I'm doing now, handwriting here. But you can share, you can learn so much, and there's so many things you can do. So don't stop because you get stuck. And so I want to encourage so many people, they get stuck and they spend thousands of dollars creating a website, taking all these steps, but then they get stuck and they don't know where to go. You just want to think, what does my business need right now? And most likely your business needs leads. You need leads to survive. If you don't have the leads, it's the backbone of your business. So instead of, my personal opinion, get mad at me if you want, instead of focusing on doing so many social posts, you should be focusing on creating the strategy that's going to help you get more leads and more business than spending hours creating posts that are only going to give you typically some sort of vanity metrics unless you have a following built. And most people have a following, already have a system in place to capture people into their sales funnel systems, to capture leads, and to build their lists. That's my goal for you guys. As always, keep pushing. And if you guys like this, I'm going to find a regular time. Let me know if you think I suck. I'm okay with that too. I'm just like you. I'm going down my entrepreneur journey, and this is actually live. And I'm going to do my little outro. Hope you guys like it, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Take care. So I post a lot of videos on my entrepreneur journey, mindset, interviewing top coaches, entrepreneur business owners, you name it. I try to work my best to help you guys see the greatest content that's going to help elevate your game and grow your business. While we wait for next week's video, if you guys would like, you can take a look at one of these 2 videos here or here to get started, where we typically go over social media marketing, interviews, see some of the top stuff that's going on currently in the business sphere as far as helping you grow your business. I'm pushing for you guys. Have a great one, and we'll see you next time.